So this is quarter one, lesson 4, or week 4. Focuses on literary devices. Our learning competency analyze the maxims, universal truths, and philosophies presented in the literary text as means of valuing other people and their various circumstances in life. For a specific objective, we have number 1, recall significant points learned from the previous lesson about our literary text called poetry. Number 2, identify and explain common literary devices used in poetry. Number 3, analyze the poem, a poem that has no title, by Josepe Rizal for general truths and convictions of essence to life. And number 4, create a poetry one-pager. So for this video, we will be focusing on the specific objective number 2, which is identify and explain common literary devices used in poetry. Okay, so literary devices enhance writing by adding depth of emphasis and richer sensory experience for the reader. They are tools and techniques that poets use to enrich the meaning, imagery, and impact of their work. Okay, so the first literary device we have here, imagery. Imagery is a descriptive language that appeals to the senses, creating vivid mental pictures for the reader. For example, visual imagery for the sight, auditory imagery, sound, olfactory imagery, the smell, gustatory imagery, the taste, and tactile imagery or touch. So, for example, the scent of the fresh rain on the earth. The scent of fresh rain on the earth. Next one, we have metaphor. Metaphor, a comparison between two unlike things, suggesting a similarity or shared characteristic without using like or as. This is a direct comparison between two unlike things. For example, time is a thief. Next one, we have simile. The simile is the comparison between two unlike things using like or as. Example, her smile was as bright as the sun. We also have personification, giving human characteristics or qualities to non-human objects, animals, or abstract concepts. Example, the wind whispered through the trees. Symbolism is using objects, colors, or elements to represent deeper meanings of or ideas beyond their literal significance. Like, for example, a dove symbolizes peace. We have rhyme. A rhyme, the repetition of similar sounds, usually at the end of the lines in poetry. Common rhyme schemes include AABB, ABAB, and ABCB. We have tone. The tone can be conveyed through word choice, imagery, syntax, and overall style. Common tones in poetry include playful, serious, nostalgic, melancholic, sarcastic, hopeful, and reflective. We have mood, the emotional atmosphere of feeling evoked in the reader by the poem. Mood can range from joyful and celebratory to dark and ominous, depending on the subject matter and poet's treatment of it. We have alliteration, the repetition of the same initial consonant sounds in a series of words. For example, Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. So you can see the repetition of the same initial consonant sounds, the P, 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 okay, P, P, P. We have the hyperbole, an extreme exaggeration used for effect. So extreme exaggeration. For example, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. So that is the example of hyperbole. We have onomatopoeia, a word that imitates the sound it represents. For example, the bees buzz loudly in the garden. So it imitates the sound of a bee. The bee buzz loudly in the garden. The bees buzzed loudly in the garden. Now let's practice. So for instruction, read each sentence below and write the literary device used. Number 1, the stars danced playfully in the moonlit sky. So what literary device is that? The stars danced playfully in the moonlit sky. All right, our answer is personification. Number 2, he was so tired he could have slept for 1,000 years. So what literary device is that? He was so tired he could have slept for 1,000 years. That is hyperbole. That is an exaggeration. All right, number 3. The fresh, juicy oranges were cold and sweet. What literary device is that? That is imagery. Juicy oranges. Number 4. Blippi sells seashells by the seashore. So what literary device is that? SFS. That is alliteration. The repetition of the consonant sound. Number 5. The thunder grumbled like an old man. What is the sound of thunder? Okay, the thunder grumbled like an old man. What literary device is that? It's a simile. Number 7. Blank is a comparison between two unlike things suggesting a similarity or shared characteristic without using like or as. So without using like or as. A direct comparison between two unlike things. Example, time is a thing. What is that? That is metaphor. Number 8. Blank is a descriptive language that appeals to senses, creating vivid mental pictures for the reader. Examples include visual imagery, the sight, auditory imagery, which is the sound, olfactory imagery, which is the smell, gustatory imagery, which is the taste, and tactile imagery or touch. For example, the scent of fresh rain on the earth. That is imagery. Number 9. Blank is a word that imitates the sound it represents. Example, the bees buzzed loudly in the garden. Answer is onomatopoeia. Now, last number 10. Blank can be conveyed through word choice, imagery, syntax, and overall style. Common tones in poetry include playful, serious, nostalgic, melancholic, sarcastic, hopeful, and reflective. That is tone. All right, so thank you for watching.